What's up with Icy? With Icy. What's up with Icy? You're calling with Icy. What's up with Icy? With Icy. What's up with Icy? You chilling with Icy. Put your energy in it. Put your courage up in it. Put your life up in it. Put your work up in it. What's up with Icy? With Icy. What's up?
All wines should be tasted. Some should be sipped and some you should drink the whole bottle. And that's what I'm going to do with this Phantom bottle. I'm Icy and welcome to Who's Up with Icy. Help me welcome the guys behind the Phantom wines. What comes to my mind when I think of wine? I think of Eastern Cape, no, Western Cape,
Yeah.
the vineyards, money, white people.
Yeah.
But in this case, it is Free State, blacks. How did it happen?
To us, I guess it's a thing of no boundaries. Okay. We came up with this idea because we realized that wine could be made anywhere. It doesn't necessarily mean you should be in the Eastern Cape or in the winelands per se. Wine can be made anywhere in the world if you have the ingredients, of course. You just need the ingredients, wine can be made. So the idea was brought up by us actually looking around and seeing that there's no brand, there's no alcohol brand from where we are from. And we vastly feel like it should be celebrated like that. People around us are drinking every day. There's no brand that says us. People are drinking every day and there's nothing that represents us. And we felt there's a market for that because people buy alcohol now and then. So that was a gap that needed to be filled. So we tried doing things different. Hence we came up with the blue wine. You know what I mean? We tried doing things different just so the world is not there yet, but we're doing it, yeah.
But now, the Phantom, where does the name come from?
Phantom.
Because I was like, what is Phantom? I tried searching for it and no, let me hear from the horse's mouth.
Phantom is a ghost.
Wow.
Phantom is it's just unseen. It's the invisibility. You get me? Yeah. So that's what inspired us. The not haves. Us seeing that there's nothing like this. We must do something. That's why there's nothing behind the name. The brand is actually rewriting its own story. Phantom doesn't mean anything.
So wasn't it scary to tap into the industry that is known to be a white dominant industry?
It was quite scary because it comes with customers doubting the brand to begin with. So people start thinking, these guys are black. This wine is a black brand. Yeah. What do they know? What do they know? How much do they know? Is this brand credible? Yeah. Can we drink this? Is this not poison? So it comes with a whole lot of questions and so it's very scary tapping into the wine industry.
And I guess it was very difficult. Or how difficult was it? How easy was it?
It's still difficult. It's still very difficult. The problem with the wine thing is you can never struggle with customers. You can struggle with finding let's say a bigger shelf, a bigger customer like your retail stores. That's where you struggle because there's big guys there's white people accommodating all those shelves. They can't give you space. They don't know you. So it's a part of difficulty we meet that we think sometimes this is something we should target somehow because it's not easy having your wine in stores. People usually come to me and say, when are we getting it in so and so? And I'm like, I think it's there's a whole lot of wine brands that's filled the shelves,
Because that was my next question. Okay. When are we seeing Phantom on the shelves?
Hey, very soon. Very soon.
But how are people receiving the wine since the first time it went in? How are the community receiving it since the guys from Bethlehem are doing it? are into wine and it is rare to see?
Yeah, now the market is actually growing gradually because we've been getting a couple of little clients all over South Africa so far, not only from Bethlehem. I mean, Joburg, PDA, everywhere we've been getting the customers. So as I said, we actually growing gradually, and sooner it's going to be in the shell, as we said, as we had touched on that earlier. Yeah.
So the information and the education behind wines, I'm sure you had to go back and start reading and start making research. Wasn't it a lot of work to go through?
Yeah, no, most definitely it is a lot of work because you gotta study about the health side of the wine, how it's been made, how it's been manufactured, about the aging of it. So that took us a lot of time to actually go back and study more about the wine industry. So hence we actually grew into this in produce our own brand called Phenom VI.
So the wine tasting and everything that has to go with wine, how you taste, how you differentiate between the wines, because I sometimes get confused about such things. How do you know it? How does it go?
So as I said, we do have the red wines. Obviously going to be more of your healthy side. So if people got the chronic diseases, they prefer the red wine because it's helping you with that. In terms of your kidney failure as well, it does help. Other people, they go for sweet rosé and they go for the blue wine as well. So it's more of your, when you chill with your friends, you preferably go for the blue wine. But if you're a healthy freak like us, then you're gonna go for for the red wine.
Okay, but now since like I saw the blue wine with you guys, I never saw a blue wine. So how did it happen? We came with the idea. Where did you get it from, Ori? We should do a blue wine.
It was a test to us. We were actually experimenting because we had all kinds of wine before this. We had pink wine, we had green wine. We've been experimenting with colors. You know what I mean? We had weed wine. Weed wine. We had a high wine before this, but we just never, branched into that market because we were experimenting. So when we got to this, we were like, this is it, because it looked good. The bottle looked good. Well, and so we usually try all kinds of wine. Anything we could actually, we've had tea wine, we've had coffee wine, all kinds of wine.
Yo.
We could have all Tropica wine, anything. We could turn anything into wine. So that's the part of the experiment we've been to, So then it also comes with the ingredients you use, that you know which colors and which colors are gonna tend to which color, because you don't just use green stuff and think the wine is gonna be green. Usually it doesn't work like that. Well, yeah. So we have to actually mix and say, okay, if we want a rosé, you can't just get a rosé. We have to, get that orangish color. What fruits can we use to, because you can't just put anything in there. We can't put watermelon in that. We can't put, we have to put colors that go into that thing and make it actually orangish. So it was just an experiment and it came out very nice. Yeah.
But where does the business mindset come from? From high school, from family background? Because for me, you cannot just be a business
came
person.
from poverty. The business mindset popped up from poverty, from struggling financially, from working and not seeing the results. I was like, I have to. I'm not a business person, but I have to. So I learned to become that person. I'm still learning to grow more into that person whose business, mentality wise, I'm still getting the knowledge. And yeah.
And how was it like holding your first bottle?
Yo, it's still there. Yo, painful. Yo, it was the worst wine because the first bottle failed. Yeah, the first bottle was a failed wine. I still have it. But it was inspirational because I grew from that. I actually saw, I kept it, and now I look at it and I look at these ones. I'm like, okay, at least there's a whole difference. Even the logo, everything, you know what I mean? Yeah. Everything.
So how was it holding the successful bottle?
It still hasn't sunk in. Still hasn't sunk in, but I'm getting there. I'm getting a little bit proud of it. I'm proud of it. though there's still room, there's a whole mention for improvement. We're still gonna improve. We're still gonna brand it better. Yeah.
So in terms of marketing, and maybe I love this question so
Uh-huh.
much because I did marketing.
Oh,
but
yeah?
how do you do your marketing?
We actually depend on social media. Yeah, we actually depend on social media, and with marketing, it helps a lot to know your target market, because we try not to market to the wrong crowd. Yeah, we try market to people who drink wine, women, yeah, socio-economic standards. We try to look at the people who actually would drink wine, and even wabo. So even on social media, we try and engage in that way. Wabo. We try and get people who,
And there are a lot of young people who want to get into business.
Mhm.
And since you are in this business of wine,
Yeah.
and it's not like an everyday thing that we see around our community where black people, young black guys like you are in wine business.
Yeah.
There are other young people who want to get into business, who wants to do things that are not usual. Yeah. How do you encourage them?
I don't encourage them.
Why?
I'd encourage them to try. I wouldn't encourage them to think it's gonna work.
No, but they want to get in, but they
can try.
fear
They can
of
start
it.
businesses, but not with encouragement from us. Not with
How you
encouragement.
showed you are now successful?
Yeah, like we get in there, but it's not an easy road. It's not an easy road. There's times where you wish, hey, Corona hits us. Hey, I don't have a job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't wish that on anybody. Thing is, we can stand it. We don't know if they can. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't encourage them to. I would encourage them to start it as a hobby, not like their life depend on it. You know what I mean? Not like their life depends on it, but they should try businesses, because I feel like I'm learning business in general when I'm doing this. You know what I mean? So it's any business I'm gonna go to, it's gonna be from the growth I get from this.
And what's your take on having something to fall back on? Maybe you want to do something, you want to venture into business, but our parents are saying you should go to school and have something to fall back on, because you'll never know how the business may turn out.
Yeah, that's true.
Should we have something to fall back on, or should we go straight to what we want to do in life?
I personally would say go for whatever that you actually want to go for. Life is all about taking risks. You never know if it's going to work or if it's going to go work out. But if you're eager to do it, then what's holding you back?
Yeah.
Fly, Baba, fly.
So I'm interested in the whole process of wine, the grapes. I think there's crushing, there's fermenting. Take me through the whole process, what's going on.
That should be yourself.
And do you have a vineyard somewhere, or what's happening?
We should do this interview next week.
Why?
Because we'll probably have it next week.
Wow.
Okay, yeah, with the wine thing, the process is probably getting your ingredients, destem, and get your grapes come with stems and stuff. You destem them, then the crushing comes. After the crushing, will be bantotao, then it's racking. The racking process is a process where onta your skins and stuff, where you leave just the juice. Then it's gonna be racking until it's clear, until you can see you through that bottle. You know what I mean? So it's a process. A wine bottle is actually finished after 3 months. Yeah, before you could start aging. Then the aging begins. That's where you put it in a barrel. That's where you give it the qualities you want, or whatever barrel. There's American barrels. We usually use the French oak barrels. We only have French oaks. So you decide what you're gonna put in there, what you want it to smell like, everything when it's aged.
So in terms of
Before
how do
bottling.
you want it to smell like? If maybe you want roses,
If you want,
how do you do it?
No, like from the get go.
Roses?
Yeah, we could even now when we age it, we could age it in cigars. It's gonna smell like a cigar. You know, we could age it in a certain rows.
But you actually put the cigars in?
Yeah, I could cut cigars and put them in there. It's gonna smell like that cigar. I'll put the mint, okay, cut a mint and I'll put the mint in the plant. It's gonna smell minty. Even weed, that's what we, you know, that's during our experiment, that's what we used. It would smell weed, you know, whatever you put in there, whatever you like. That's when, because we've also used the Protea thingy, flower. The Protea flower, it was smelling nice.
So how much time from picking up the grapes to...
Usually 6 months. Rosé is 6 months. Dry wine is like 8. So we get to times where we don't, you know what I mean? We're waiting. We're just waiting. Patience. Yeah, patience.
But then it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Are you personally involved? Or
100%. 100%.
So it means during the corona time I should have came to you.
Hey, where are you guys? Hey.
Since we're talking about corona, how did it...
It was
the
very
business?
bad. Too much. I personally look at us as an immersion brand. We're not grown. We're not a grow. We are a growing brand. So I imagined in a time where we were successful, it was gonna be too much. So that jab from Corona wasn't too hard. We actually took it and it was nothing. We withstood it, and if we were a bigger brand, we would have lost a lot. So we were like, you know, Corona will pass. It's giving us time to age because we still have backlogs of making wine. We have to wait 8 months. So that's what we actually did. Like, okay, we're gonna wait this time, and it's okay. We won't sell.
And our government is encouraging young people to get into business, but are they actually helping? And have they helped Phantom?
Yeah, the government is there's departments that have helped us. You know, there's departments, and I guess the government is broad, but they've been helpful. They've been helpful. Where I'd actually blame not getting help from, you know, on me. If I don't get help, then the blame is on me, because these people need persistence. Everything needs persistence. You must be on their neck every day, breathing down their neck every day until they give you what you want. So far, I'm not complaining. If I haven't got anything now, it's because I didn't go get it.
And business is not an easy peasy.
It's not an easy peasy.
So on a daily basis, where do you get your motivation from? Because I believe there are times where you feel like giving up. You felt like
I look in the mirror and I'm like, where am I? No, I shouldn't be here. I get the motivation from where I am, actually. You know, I guess my motivation is around me. I wake up and I'm like, I shouldn't be here. Why am I waking up here? You know, that means there's still more work needed to be done. You know what I mean? Why am I here? You know what I mean? And it's a few pages. I actually follow big wine brands. You know, I follow big wine brands and look how they post, look at how they do stuff, which is something I've been learning. How they post, how they engage with customers. You know, I'm trying to do that as well. Yeah. So every time I log into my Insta, all I see is wine, and I'm like, oh, let me get back to the memo. Every time. Facebook, you know what I mean? Yeah.
And now, do you have loyal customers that you know for sure?
Yeah, there's people I know for sure. They're gonna hit me up every week and say, hey, you know what I want? Bring me the bottle of the saw, bring me a case, bring me this. You know, there's people who believe strongly in the brand.
And what have you learned since you are in this business? What have you learned about business itself?
I'd say firstly, working with people, it's actually a good thing, because you actually grow a lot as a person, as a young entrepreneur as well, because those kind of things that you learn from people, they can actually grow you, so or they can actually boost you in becoming a better person. So that's what I actually realized.
And working with people itself, it's a very it's
very
another
dynamic.
road. And how has it been? You know, because we are different as people, you know, we are moody, we are.
Yep. Then we know they always say customer is always right. However, we try to reach out to more of our customers, and we are very lenient to them. We are being faithful to what we say. We always save the best. So I think for them to us, it's actually a blessing. And yeah.
So where do we see Phantom Wine in the next 5 or 10 years?
We've been actually talking about this earlier. We see ourselves in where? Cuba,
Wow.
Italy, France. We're gonna be all over South Africa. We're gonna be all over Africa, and obviously we're looking to bust into other places like outside South Africa or outside Africa. So that's where we're actually growing to.
Right.
Yeah.
So to young people out there who want to do wine, who wants to do whatever they want to do, what do you say to them?
Let's go get it. Come to me, I'll brand your wine. Come to me, I'll make you wine, you'll brand it and go sell it at a price. Yeah, that's what we do now. We actually have people coming to us and asking if they can brand their own wine. You know, and we're like, oh, let's do it for you at a price. Or you have your own brand and go sell it. So we create, we create the bottle for you. You go sell it. It's your brand. Sure. It says nothing about us. So that's what we're doing now.
So what's your favorite bottle or your favorite
Phantom 6.
Phantom 6?
Yeah.
Which one is it?
All of them.
Ah!
We've realized of all our wines, when we go sell, when we have a stall, people always get attracted by the blue one.
The blue one.
Yeah, when people
Maybe
see,
it's because of the color.
yeah, that's the thing. People always get attracted of the blue one and say, "Hey, what is this?" So even on our sales, people buy the blue wine more. No, people buy the blue, and it's the least made. We don't make a lot of blue
Why?
wine.
Because
The ingredients to make blue wine are expensive, and it's, you know what I mean. So we don't buy a lot of ingredients. These ones, you know what I mean. We could probably get grapes from Cape Town, everything. Yeah. So blueberries are expensive and stuff.
even if you can increase the price, maybe.
We've done that. We were selling it at a lower price. Then we saw that we were making a loss. We're gonna run a loss. There's not much profit. Let's increase the price. Then still the production is less, which we tried tweaking a few things on the production. So it's not easy, and it's not we don't make it in, but we usually have only 600 liters of blue wine in 6 months. Then these other ones over 1,000 liters. Yeah.
Okay, guys, thank you so much. Thank you
Izzy.
for giving. It was a really inspiring and motivating, and I've learned so much. And you have shown me that you can do it as a black child. You know, the sky is the limit. And so thank you very much.
Thank you.
So that's how we wrap up with the Phantom, guys. So Bafethu, it really proves that in life, anything that you want to do, you can do it. The sky is the limit. So from me, Uaizi, and the rest of the Who's Up team, it can be you next time. So, who's up?
What's up with